Welcome back. My name is Candace Sanderson, and I have had several requests to talk about my channeling. Now, that is a broad subject, but I'll give it a try. Let me start by saying that I did not necessarily like the word channeling, but people kept calling what I do as that channeling. So I started using the term. However, when my guides describe how we receive messages, I became much more comfortable with the word channeling. The messengers tell me that when we make a connection to their side, we create a pathway. They say it is an electromagnetic path. And with each trek back and forth to this specific connection, that path becomes wider and deeper until, if we continue to use it, a channel develops. Perfect. Think of a channel in a river. It allows waters to naturally flow along that path. And that path is often hidden just below the surface, beneath our awareness. Or you could also think of a tuner where you search for a specific television channel. When you hit that correct frequency, the communication opens and that specific channel pops up on your TV set or your monitor. When I began thinking of a channel in those terms from the messengers, I realized I didn't mind that word at all. It is not woo-woo, and it certainly describes the connection where the energy flows much more readily. It's a vibrational match. Let me give the short version of my history of channeling. I was a pragmatic psychologist, minding my own business, believing only what my five senses measured until August 28th, 2013. For those who are close to me, they know that I am not known for recalling numbers or dates. Well, I do recall numbers and dates, but not accurately. So for me to actually remember correctly, this date speaks to its significance. While driving to work early one morning, doors opened to another realm that was not so easily defined by my senses. Now, our senses work so well for us in this 3D environment of Earth, but they're not so good in navigating the 5D. Let me explain. First of all, I use the term 5D loosely, generally, just to describe the not here. It might be a dream state. It might be deep meditation or prayer, or traveling through some sort of an out-of-body experience. The way I use the term 5D is generically to mean anything that is beyond this life, beyond this 3D physical world. The 5D, though, isn't always out there. Well, it can be if you go deep enough within. But the 5D is such a natural part of our lives that we often do not recognize this. This is where my messengers have really helped me. They have taught me to pause life and look at life differently. So, what are some of the 5D examples that are so ubiquitous that we don't even recognize them for what they are? One is, of course, nighttime dreams. You can't argue about that because in our dreams, we are in the 5D, but we often think of them as just dreams. After all, our 3D body is lying down asleep on the couch or on the bed. But let me offer another suggestion. Rephrase your thoughts. Start thinking of dreams as adventures that your energy body goes on. From there, you could work on being lucid within that dream, being aware that you are dreaming when you are dreaming. And from that point on, you begin to take control of at least one 5D adventure, nighttime dreaming. Let's look at some other 5D examples. Daydreams. Sometimes you can be so engrossed in a daydream that you do not hear people calling your name until the second or third or maybe fourth time. Earth to Candace, and then you almost startle back into the 3D. Let's pause there. Where were you? Obviously, an aspect of you that is in the 3D is sitting there in the classroom or wherever it is. But where is, or better yet, what is that part of you that is in the daydream? That is your energy body. Some call it your spirit. But you have expanded beyond the physical. And now this aspect of you is engrossed in some sort of other world of the 5D. Whether you are making a grocery list or a to-do list, whether you're fantasizing about this upcoming event where your speech will just blow people's minds, instead of listening to a classroom lecture, for example, you have just allowed an aspect of you to expand into that 5D. Another common 5D experience is an errant thought. In conversation, have you ever said, oh, wait, I just thought of something? Or what about if we do this? Where did those thoughts come from? These are thoughts that you were not consciously seeking answers or solutions to, but often they arrive so suddenly that you know that they are not from you. Brainstorming, especially in a group setting, creates a frenzy where step by step, people begin to think outside the box to come up with the uncommon and sometimes fabulous solutions. Thinking outside the box. That terminology itself references that we have moved outside the 3D, outside the brain, that 3D box where we live most of the time. Each out of the box idea seems to build on the others, and there are no wrong answers. As a group, the faster you can come up with ideas, this rapid fire response does not allow time for judgment. It keeps our egos out of the way. So this brainstorming exercise will give us this living, dynamic permission to expand into crazy ideas. We become inspired. Inspiration, think of that word, in spirit. But with these examples, I hope that you'll see that we are indeed reaching beyond the 3D in our waking states, our normal waking states like daydreaming or brainstorming. So there is nothing special about this. There's nothing scary. Actually, it's nothing unusual. It is as normal as it can be. When my messengers began giving me ideas about the 5D and how normal and average it is, and by the way, they're the ones that just told me this about brainstorming as an example. But as they shared this stuff with me, I hope that it will do for you what it did for me. It normalized that process of the 5D. The 5D is not weird. It is not abnormal. It's what we do without thinking about it. But I do want you to think about it, maybe just for the next few days or the next week. When you have that daydream or when you have that inspirational thought, I want you to stop, pause, realize you have just reached the 5D. When you make that pause, you will start seeing this pattern of how often we do slip into the 5D. When you're in a meditation and a message or a thought comes to you, stop. Realize that these are things from the 5D. It's very natural. So hit that pause button when you daydream. Yep, you have just slipped into the 5D. Once you're in the 5D, you obviously can return to the 3D so easily. In fact, it's usually too easy to do that. For those who might have some anxieties about having an out of body experience because they're afraid of the unknown, or they say, what happens if I can't get back into my body? Realize that this is something that you do every day. So there is no fear, no reason to be fearful. You return when someone calls your name, or even if you just think of your physical body. And you don't even have to do that because your body will tell you that it needs a break. Maybe that needs a bile break, trip to the restroom, a drink of water, an itch on your body. So don't have any kind of fears when you're in the 5D. You are the one who's in control, and you can and will return. After all, we do this all day and all night. This is the premise that we will be operating from. It is no big deal to step outside the 3D and move into the 5D. I happened to do it all at once back on August 28th, 2013. But my messengers now have shown me how to, step by step, move into these liminal spaces. We can do it at will, knowing that we already experience the 5D throughout the day, daydreaming, nighttime dreaming, inspirational thoughts, even brainstorming. But we will step this time into the 5D intentionally, with purpose. So I hope you'll join me in the next few episodes as I share this with you. Until next time, remember the importance of kindness. Put a smile on your face and show it to the world. When you do that, you radiate higher vibrations and you make the world a better place. Feel free to subscribe, like, and share. Check out my website, CandiceSanderson.com, and my #1 Amazon bestseller books, all under that Reluctant Messenger brand. Check out new episodes and documentaries on the Gaia Network and Amazon Movies. I make a brief appearance in the Consciousness Connection documentary and in season 2 of Gaia's Sacred Science. So until next time, goodbye.